Shalom, beloved. Our verse for today is the second book of Kings, chapter 5, verse 3. It reads, She said to her mistress, If only my master would approach the prophet who is in Samaria, he will cure him of his leprosy. This is a slave girl, a maid, talking to her mistress. And this mistress was the wife of Naaman. Naaman was the Syrian commander, the army chief of the king of Syria who had contracted leprosy. And we know that in the ancient Near East, in those days, one who contracted leprosy was ostracized. First of all, for sociological reasons, it was a contagious disease, so that the person will not infect others with this disease. In Israel, there was also a spiritual reason. A person is unclean and shouldn't join with others. Now, the commander of the army had contracted this dreaded disease. And what happened? Because earlier, the Syrians, the Arameans, in a raid of northern Israel, had kidnapped, so to say, a small child, a young girl, who was then made a slave girl, a servant in the house of Naaman. Because she was there and she knew what was happening, she had pity on her master. Probably her master was treating her well. Probably the mistress was treating her well. And she had a good suggestion. She went to her mistress and said, Would that my master would approach the prophet in Samaria. That prophet was Elisha. This was a slave girl. She was, so to say, nobody in the house. But they listened to her, took the matter to the king, and the king of Syria wrote to the king of Israel, requesting the cure of Naaman. We know how it happened, how the king got mad with such a request, and how Elisha sent word to the king and said, Send him to me, so that he may know there is a prophet in Israel. We know how it ended. Elisha instructing Naaman to go to Jordan and bath 7 times. He did it and he was cured. The beginning of this journey was the suggestion of this little girl. Dearly beloved, God works in mysterious ways. Many times, God brings the solutions to our problems through means we do not expect, in ways that we sometimes overlook, neglect. Had this husband and wife neglected the words of this servant girl, Naaman would not be cured. Had they treated her badly, most probably she would not have brought up this suggestion. Dearly beloved, the Lord calls us today for an introspection. First of all, how well do we treat those around us, especially those we feel are in lower cadre than us, but around us, working with us in our society, and so on. Secondly, when we see good things that will happen to another, do we hesitate or do we bring it out? So that through the things we know that can help, this person may access help in his or her condition. Thirdly, when we are given instructions especially from the divine, instructions that depict the will of God, do we follow it up so that we get the blessings we want from God? We ask the good Lord to be with us always, to grant us the spirit to treat people fairly, to grant us the grace to be out to help others, and also the grace to listen to his words. As we do that, His goodness and mercy shall follow us, and we shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Remain blessed now and always.